in Australia in particular, a lot of the people that are changing the conversation around Islam are women.
Yeah.
Almost always women.
Well, I think it's got to be though, because everyone's assuming they are
Yes,
oppressed because
that's right.
I think it has to be coming from there.
True.
Because I love that you are a proud feminist Muslim, and a lot of people are like, those two words don't go together, and that drives you insane.
Yes, and you know, I did just come back from London, and that conversation also, it seems almost like it's such an intellectual leap to try and understand that you can choose to be a Muslim and unapologetically a feminist, and equally unapologetically advocating social justice, human rights in equal measure. It's not just Islamic rights, it's not just women's rights, but Indigenous people's rights. I mean, if you understood Islam in a real way, then these are an expression of your faith. You're compelled to advocate for those more vulnerable, for the environment who has no advocate. All these things, because it is part of an expression of a world and a vision of a world that is fair, that is just, that is, which affords roles and responsibilities to your privilege. Yeah. So it doesn't say we're all equal, because we're not. But where we are not equal, you have a responsibility to those less fortunate.
Right, yeah.
And in that way, that is an expression of your faith. Yet Muslim men seem to forget that.
Right.
Just saying. Yeah. As do Anglo men. No, all men seem to forget.
Not all.
Not all. Yeah. Social change to me is happening, and is being led by men and by women and a few good men that are standing solid behind women that are calling out the nonsense. Yeah. And that is where the hope is heading.
Do you find, because you were such a strong voice and a leader in your community, to go, you know what, this is not on, do you find that you get a lot of backlash?
Not backlash per se, because I think, again, everything I say is founded in the principles of Islam. Yeah. So you'd be hard-pressed for people to come and challenge you on the accuracy of the message. So the backlash is often around, wow, Hana, but baby steps, you know. So it's trying to appease and placate your message. Wait until we're ready to give women rights. Wait until, and we're enduring all this other Islamophobia, hostility. Yes, we are. But also there is an Islamic principle, again, I go back to Islamic principles, that says you need to tell the truth, even where it implicates you. Truth needs to be transparent, and only then can we reconcile and move forward. And so if you're not ready, mate, and you want baby steps, maybe you need to go to therapy and deal with that. The reality is the starting point has to be with what is right, not what is popular, not what is where there's opportunity. And if you offer that, almost always they tend to come along eventually. So yeah, we do cop a little bit of challenging, I guess, to the position we're promoting, but I'm not saying anything that is necessarily at odds with even any version of human rights, democracy, social justice, equality, and they're all consistent with that conversation. And if that's upsetting you, or you find that difficult, then maybe you need to look at yourself and not me.
Yeah. Do you find it exhausting that this is, you know, when we're thinking, who can we speak to who is going to really explain this and go, this is the change that needs to happen? You are who we think of. Do you find that does that weigh on you ever?
Look, no. I guess there are many other really amazing women, and we're mentoring a lot of young women, and I think we do lead by example, by unapologetic example. Does it weigh on me? Like I said, my normal has always been, it is what it is, and how do we find better ways of being? And that's not something that I've ever found, I guess, difficult, or it's just the way it is. Yeah. It's the climate we're in, and I simply find the the privileges in it and how lucky we are that we're able to not only in terms of resources, offer up these resources, intellectually, rationally, offer up these conversations. How lucky are we that we can do it, and that there is an appetite for it, instead of being in an environment where people just don't want to know. So almost always when people ask, I say yes, depending on who's asking. If it's Monty, always, but somebody else. Because I think it's important. They're important platforms to continue to build on, where there's goodwill, and you begin to consolidate that goodwill.